Welcome everybody to a look at another film from Warner Brothers Archive Collection, and it is 1978's The Bermuda Depths. And yeah, this is directed by Suganobu Katani, who I'm probably mispronouncing. He's more well known as far as this film's concerned as Tom Katani, the anglicised kind of name of his first name there. So yeah, this is a fantasy made for TV film. It was also an American and Japanese co-production. Clocks in at 97 minutes long, stars Leigh McCloskey, who was also in Dario Argento's Inferno, as well as Carl Weathers, who we've talked about before in Action Jackson, which was also a Warner Brothers Archive Collection release. But it was also in Predator, Death Hunt, and Force 10 from Navarone. So scientists pursuing the mysteries of the deep are threatened by a beautiful girl who seems to have returned from the dead, and by a prehistoric sea creature that dwells in the deadly Bermuda Triangle. So, as far as TV films go, you can firstly do a lot worse. I've seen far worse TV films than this in terms of budget and general production value. And secondly, find ones that are nowhere near as cinematic as the cinematography, which is definitely helped by the on-location shooting. It looks really rather good. That's another thing that really holds TV films back a lot of the time. They do look like a TV episode rather than something that could have been released in the cinema. Whereas this does look cinematic and actually was released in cinemas in Japan. The cast is also really rather decent. It is well paced, maintains its rather offbeat fantasy vibes for pretty much the entirety of its running time. It's engrossing throughout, and the score is good. It's just a shame that any time it seems to seems like something exciting is about to happen or does happen, such scenes either don't go far enough, as yeah, the production budget does somewhat hamper this having much in the way of spectacle, or more crucially, the effects are far too iffy to take them seriously. Especially one scene where you're on a beach. There's a cliff side top, and then there's a cliff house on it. Partially collapses at the beginning of the film. Return to the same place later on, and it's got even more decrepit and stuff like that. But you can quite clearly see that it is been put there after the fact because there's a lot of blue lines around it, and it just doesn't look, well made and rather cheap. But that said, the miniatures themselves, when they aren't, you know, affected by blue lines and blue screen effects and stuff like that, are still rather charming, especially a little boat and the house at the beginning that does collapse. So, yeah, it's overall reasonable effort, 3 out of 5. But if it had better production value and didn't feel constrained by the whole TV movie kind of thing, it would have been a lot better. But still, fairly solid, and I'm looking forward to seeing a couple of other films from the director because he worked with the same producers 2 more times. He did a film called The Last Dinosaur, and he also did one called The Ivory Ape. So I'm looking forward to seeing both of those. I will say this though, the artwork for this is basically a lie. Yes, those cast members are in this. Yes, it is that title, but that image does not happen whatsoever. There's no girl and man or woman and man fighting on top of a creature or anything like that. That does not happen. So yeah, and I'm kind of thankful really because the eyes of the woman, I'm not sure if you can see, are really rather quite horrific. I'm not sure my device will focus there, but still, yeah, not that does not happen. So that's a complete lie. So don't go expecting that kind of thing. And to be honest, it's far more about its characters and its the vibes of fantasy and stuff like that than any massive spectacle. There is some here and there. There's a helicopter crash. There's a boat sinking. Like I said, there's a building collapsing at the beginning. But for the most part, it's about the characters, the location, and the general feeling of the film. So yeah, nothing massively spectacle. And in comparison to say other Japanese films that deal with sea creatures and stuff, you could do a lot better. In terms of the extras on this disc, and we've also got the both of the different aspect ratios for this because, like I said, it was a TV film, but it was also released theatrically in Japan. So you have the 133:1 US broadcast television version and the 185 to 1 international theatrical version. So I went for the theatrical version just because I prefer cinema over TV, and yeah, it did really look good in that international theatrical version. And as a special feature, you've got audio commentary by Amanda Reyes, who is an author and film historian, and Lance Vaughan, who is co-founder of Kidder Trauma. So yeah, not heard of them before, but still nice to have at least something on the disc there as an extra. So yeah, overall a decent film, but nothing spectacular, and you can do a lot better. But as far as TV films can go, you can also do a lot worse. Nonetheless, so if you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.